Thank you, Himanshu sir. And for me, it was a boon, and he has set up the environment also, and in a doctor's term. Now we are very much aware of the importance of a doctor in today's life. That means on the COVID-19 scenario, how doctor is very much important. So he has shown us the physiology, and I'm going to treat based on the symptoms, what has been diagnosed, and what the physiology says. To start with, let me tell you some of the important facts. Uh, Groundwater is neither produced underground nor formed. Please try to understand, my dear friends. Rainfall is the only source of water, and by which we get surface water and groundwater. So, the Pune scenario, from where Himanshu sir left, on the left side, if we see how Pune was in a, if you wanted to show it in a cartoon, see how green it was, and see the water level scenario in 1990s. I'm not talking much back, we can say, and in 2017 how it was, rather how it was looking, and now must be much worse than what I am trying to show you. Now, what are the lifelines? He has shown, Himanshu sir has nicely explained about the watersheds, and these are the lifelines which we can say that these are the lifelines of the city. And Pune is really a city which has been blessed by the lifeline network. Earlier, if you see the network, every drainage was carrying the water. Now, what has happened? Most of the drains, or now we can say most of the drainages, or the nalas, or the rivers, or the rivulets, they are they have been made just like a cement channel. Is it a cement channel? My dear friends, no, not at all. It is a lifeline because the drainages are created naturally. Nobody has created, and nature creates its own path where it gets least resistance. The drainages are developed. Least resistance means where the rocks can be easily eroded by the river water. So you can imagine why the nalas are born only at this place. So it is only because there the rock could be softer, the rock could be easier to recharge also. So that means this is how the lifelines are very much important from Pune city point of view. And now this is the reality which you can see in the image also, and then maybe subsequently we can see how drastically the green color, that is the land use and land cover of a Pune city, has changed over a period of time. Now, if you see, this is how the landscape of Pune in 2017. I'm giving the references only because anybody who want to see the details of it, they can really go to those websites. And please see the green color on the right side map. Really, some of the areas were good for rather the recharge areas, which Himanshu sir has rightly used or coined the word recharge areas. There are many areas in Pune city. Like this is a recharge area. Unfortunately, if it is being covered with the pavements like cement cover, road cover, anything which is covered, then it is very difficult for the aquifers to get recharged naturally. It is, again, it is similar to like your human body. Now, if the minerals or the vitamins in your body gets reduced, what is important that the doctors used to supplement artificially. That means he prescribes you some tablets, some injections. If your situation is severe, then he will go for salines. That means the minerals, vitamins, whatever they are needed, he will inject into your body artificially. Similar is the scenario, because the aquifers and the human body, they have a direct correlation that we're going to see subsequently. Now, just to show you the geological map of a Pune city. Yes, again, it's a green color basalt. Unfortunately, geologists, they have nomenclatured basalt as they have nomenclatured basalt with a green color, but the green color is the symbol of a prosperity. Unfortunately, in Maharashtra or even the complete Deccan Trap where we are sitting today in the Pune city, it's a green color doesn't indicate that it has a good groundwater, means it can hold good groundwater. No, not at all, my dear friends. It has many limitations as far as groundwater storage capacity is concerned. One more map, that is a groundwater prospect map of Pune. Pune city I have tried to show you here. Classically, government of India along with the state governments, they have done a fantastic job. They have mapped the entire country, and the groundwater prospect maps are available in the public domain also. What they indicate, my dear friends, please try to understand. These are the colors which I have shown, which are showing that the how much is the capacity of the aquifers to yield groundwater. That means these are good color areas, and as you go down towards red color, the capacity of the aquifers to yield or to give the groundwater go on diminishing or go on reducing. So you can pinpoint this also based on these maps where your societies are located. Because in Pune city also, Pune city, if you talk in terms of the square kilometers, then it has surpassed Mumbai also. Because now, considering the Pune and Pimpri Chinchwad metros, the area is more than 600 square kilometers. So you can imagine how many villages they have been brought into Pune city, and how diverse is the geology below the Pune city. Now, this is the most important and most trustworthy, we can say, a slide where we must understand everybody, those who have joined today's webinar. Please try to understand this. There is a direct similarity between a body science and the aquifers, which is found in the hard rock. And the left side, uh, if you see the body, it is all veins, venlets, whatever you can talk. Similar is the scenario as far as the hard rock which occurs below Pune city is concerned. It is all similar sorts of fractures. They may be minute fractures, maybe major fractures, maybe joints having a good thicknesses, thin joints also. And if you see sheet joints, vertical joints, horizontal joints, all sorts of joints they occur. That means it's just like a network of the veins which is found usually in our body. Both have the limits as far as the storage of water is concerned. Take example of our body. Everybody knows that in our body we can 71% of our body is comprised of water. That means quantity wise, if you see, then around 3 liters of water everybody drinks, not more than that. Maybe during summer the quantity could be high. Similar is the scenario as far as the groundwater is concerned. The capacity of the aquifer to hold the water is also limited. It's not like a sea, it's not like a lake below the ground. Please, it's a myth in many cases we found that even some of the experts, they are telling that a huge quantity of groundwater is available below ground. No, not at all, my dear friends. It's not like that. We don't have any sea, we don't have any lake below the ground. It's all the fractures as far as the hard rocks are concerned, because all these hard rocks, they have a secondary porosity. If you see, I have tried to show two pictures. One is of a tortoise and one is of a hare. So the groundwater gets recharged at the pace of a tortoise. That means 1 millimeter a day to 120 meters a day. That is how the groundwater seeps into the ground, and we are taking out with the help of 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 10, 20 horsepower pumps, and we are abstracting the groundwater at a pace of a hair. So if you compare why most of the wells are getting dried up, it is only because of this reason, that the aquifers which get saturated slowly, it takes years to get saturated. So that is why this is the aquifer which is usually get saturated annually, and that is what has been tapped by our dug wells. But if you go down up to a 60 meter, then you are tapping a semi-confined aquifer, that we call it as a deep, which is taking the recharge, means 100 up to 100 of hundreds of years are required. But as you go down, like in Latur, Usmanabad, Bid, in Maharashtra we are talking about, we have gone up to a depth of 100 to 120 meters, means even 150 meters also. Now proudly for some of the farmers, they are telling that I have drilled 1000 feet deep bore well. But if you ask him a question, how much it has yielded, then he says, oh, no, 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 1 inch only. 1 inch where? 1 inch, if you are getting the water up to this, then it's of no use. So it is very difficult to get that water. And if you try to find out the age of that water, then it will be around more than hundreds also. BARC Bhabha Atomic Research Center, they have tried to find out the age of this water in Maharashtra, and we found that it is matching with the what internationally is being figures are being given. Oh, what do you mean by age? Age means this area requires that much of years to go down for the water to get collected into this aquifer. So you can imagine, this is your grandson's water. This is your water which is getting annually replenished. So that is why if you go back to your ancestral system, then you will see that earlier 20, rather maybe 10, 50 years before, no bore wells were there. So they were knowing that the deep aquifers, they are like a fixed deposits, they are like a fixed deposits. So we are utilizing our fixed deposits only when it is direly needed. So this water which is taking hundreds of years, more than hundreds of years, and it's the recharge area is far away, we are not aware also where the recharge areas are. So that is why they are to be kept for maybe during scarcity we must get that water. Again, one more body science which is directly related with is the pulse of groundwater. When you go to a doctor, he checks initially the pulse of your body, how much are the pulse, and based on that he tries to diagnose. Similar is the situation. Himanshu sir has shown you some of the graphs. I'm just trying to give you the idea why these are very much important, because pulse of groundwater, if you are measuring the water levels, then you can able to understand how my groundwater is behaving with the space and time. Because water has two dimension. If you see the surface water, space and time, but as far as the groundwater is concerned, there is one more parameter, and that is depth. So that is why it is very important to see and get the support of a doctor who knows how the groundwater levels are behaving. Because unless and until you go to a doctor who is learned, who is aware of the aquifer, he cannot able to tell you what is actually the problem and what actually is the solution and what has to be done. Now, these are the maps, rather, I think, just to give you the idea that Groundwater Surveys and Development Agency in 2007 did the detailed hydrogeological survey for Pune city. And they came out with this map of the recharge area. What are the recharge areas? And these are some of the recharge areas by which you can able to know where the societies should go for the recharging of the wells, and really which areas or which locations should contribute more to the artificial groundwater recharge. This is what is the water availability and use. I'm not going into the detail, but just let you know the well density is highest in the Pune city, that is 122 bore wells per square kilometer. My dear friends, the carrying capacity of roads is, if the road is a 4-lane road, then 4 cars can go at a time. And if the carrying capacity increases, what happens? You know, there is a conjunction, there is a traffic jam. Similar is the situation. Now the well density is supposed to be technically 8 wells per square kilometer. Now it is 122. So you can imagine why one bottle, 1 liter of a Coca-Cola bottle, you are putting 122 straws. So you can imagine how much you will going to get it, and why the borewells in Pune city are uh, getting dried up in the month of March, April, and May, slowly. So groundwater is very important, especially during drought or during the scarcity. Now, this is the list of the areas where we can say that there are potential recharge areas. Unfortunately, if you see the tankers which are plying in the Pune city, they are supplying, because in many societies, tanker is the lifeline now. Maybe we are in the month of May, so probably tanker could be the lifeline for them. But unfortunately, the tankers from where they are abstracting, if you see the areas, you will find that all the tanker suppliers, they have drilled borewells, or they have the dug wells in these recharge areas itself. So that is why they are not allowing the recharge to happen. Maybe naturally also, and maybe artificially they are not allowing. So because of this, what is happening, the recharge into the aquifers is not happening completely. So in many cases, in heart of the city, if we can say, the recharge area could be located maybe in the north, maybe in the south. That has to be identified. And luckily, ACWADAM came out with the aquifer map of a Pune city. So we must use those maps for this purpose, and then only we can say confidently that whatever rainwater is falling on our society can definitely go into the aquifer. Please try to understand it. The groundwater availability in an aquifer is like a financial disparity in the society, because you cannot say, it's not like a sponge. The aquifers, if you recollect the map which has been shown by Kulkarni sir, you will come to know that they have different dimensions. Somewhere it has pinched, somewhere it has swollen. That means the thickness is also varied. So it is just like the financial disparity. We cannot remove the financial disparity in the society. Similar is the situation. If in the society is asking that we wanted to do artificial recharge, but unfortunately, if the aquifer is of not good potential, then maybe that society cannot go for the artificial recharge. So the artificial recharge cannot be possible everywhere. Maybe it could be possible on those places where we have a good aquifer potential, good recharge capacities. There only we can able to put good quantity of groundwater. Why sustainability of groundwater is very much important? My dear friends, I'll invite your attention to research which has been carried out by Nature. 5 scientists from different countries, they came together and they have published a report on that has been published in the Nature, that paper, research paper, that says that many countries will going to rather the aquifer, that is the groundwater, could get exhausted. in many countries, the aquifer will going to get dried up also. So these are some of the hints which have been given by a recent research, we can say. Similarly, recently, a NGT, Honorable National Green Tribunal, has given a decision in Delhi that the recharge structures which have been carried out, especially in municipal corporation areas, they are contaminating the groundwater. So they have constituted a committee to find out what is the reason behind that and who is the culprit. Now, based on this scenario, does it mean that you don't have any remedial measures? Yes, my dear friends, we too have remedial measures. It's like the body science, as I told you earlier also. Even in body science also, there are many sectors which have not yet been uh, explored in details. Like say, for example, brain, we are using only few percentage of our brain, and we could not able to go into the depth of its research also, that what is the issue as far as the brain diseases are concerned. Similar is the situation as far as the aquifers are concerned. We are not sure about the all the aquifers of Maharashtra. We could not able to delineate the aquifers, and that too into the depth also. So but still we could find some of the remedial measures based on some of the experiences which we gained. So what do you mean by the rainwater harvesting? It is simply in one sentence, tapping the rainwater where it falls. So it has two component. One is the rooftop rainwater storage. That means whatever water which falls on our roof, that is our catchment, that you can store if your society is located on an impervious rock, that we are going to see in the detail. And then second is rainwater recharge. I think Himanshu sir has shown some thrown us light on this natural recharge and some artificial recharge also. So what is important here, my dear friend, doctor of Mother Earth must be consulted. Then only you will be able to understand what is the scenario in your society. Now, what are the different tests which are very much important? Like when you go to a doctor, doctor prescribes you, gives you a list, go for blood checking, go for the CT scan, go for the X-rays. These are some of the tests which we are very much aware of. But for groundwater also, please try to remember that these are some of the scientific tests which should be carried out, and then only you can able to decide whether I can go for the artificial recharge in our society or not. Now, that you can call it as a protocol. So the protocol first, it says that geohydrological studies are very much required. Unless and until you are aware of the groundwater availability below the society, that means the rocks which are occurring in your the society, unless and until you are aware of the hydrogeological scenario, it will be very difficult to tell you how much quantity of water can be stored additionally into the aquifer besides the natural replenishment. That means in other terms, whether the aquifer is available there or not. Then third, a very important parameter, how much is the storage capacity? Just try to let you know about the storage capacity. The storage capacity, if you take a tank of 1 meter length, 1 meter breadth, and 1 meter height, that means it is a 1 meter cube, that is 1000 liter, that is equivalent to 1000 liter. Suppose this is a tank and this is a rock which is occurring besides your society. Now I am putting this rock into this tank and allowing the rain to fall. That means after rainfall, how much quantity of water you will get it in the in a 1 cubic meter of a tank. If it is filled with this vesicular basalt, it will be up to 4% of the total volume of this tank. That means only 40 liters of water you will get it into this tank in a groundwater form. in a groundwater form. Please try to understand this. So that is why there are many limitations as far as the groundwater storage into these hard rocks are concerned. And you receive rainfall only during southwest monsoon only. That means up to a month of October only, not afterwards. So that is why we have to depend only on rainfall for the natural and artificial recharge to happen. And if you have alluvium, that means this sand type of formation, there you are very lucky. The contribution to groundwater could be 10% or even more than that also. It is found in Gangetic alluvians, it is more than 20%. Fourth, but very much important, intake capacity. Please try to understand what is the intake capacity of your aquifer. Means what if you have a bore well, if you have a dug well, how much it will accept, because your societies are big societies, suppose. Then in that case, large quantity of runoff is available into your sister society, but whole runoff cannot be stored, cannot be accommodated into the aquifer, because it has a limitation. It is just like your, when your body get exhausted with the water, what is what doctor does? Doctor puts the water through the saline. That means drop by drop the water is injected into your body through the veins only. That means for body to replenish water, you need the system of a dripper. Similar is the situation. To insert or to inject water artificially into the aquifer, you need the capacity. By what capacity I should inject my water, and what could be the pace also, what could be the velocity also. And based on that, all these calculations are to be needed, and then you can decide what structure has to be prescribed for my society. So anywhere, but not everywhere. Please try to remember this phase forever. Anywhere are in, that means rainwater harvesting anywhere, but not everywhere. One more tool which is available in the public domain. Please visit the website of Maha GSDA, where you will find these maps. They are available at free of cost, wherein you will find that survey numbers are given. Based on the request of Mr. Garg, I have tried to download a map of a Rawet. There, those who are staying in Rawet, they can see. Suppose if they are located in survey number 169, then definitely they should not go for artificial recharge. They should go for storage, artificial storage. They should construct big subsurface tanks also, huge tanks, wherein they can storage the amount of rainfall which they are receiving on their societies. But if they are falling in survey number 101, then the blue color indicates that the capacity of the aquifer to store the groundwater is good. That means this is the high priority area. This yellow color is a moderate priority, and red color is the low priority. So this is how the priority maps are available even for Pune city. Please enter proper names of the areas, then you can find those maps available into this, because earlier they were the villages before they included into Pune city. Now we will just look into different types of structures which are possible. The first structure is your collecting the rainfall, collecting the rainwater, falling on the roof, because here the roof is your catchment area and can be stored above the ground also, and and can be stored below the ground also. These are some of the schematic pictures I have tried to show you. How how you can able to calculate, my dear friends. It's a very simple calculator. It's a very simple calculator, and you can use this calculator for calculating the quantity of water which your roof receives. And the formula is very simple. Suppose this is your roof area, then what is the area of the roof in square meters, then you have to multiply it by the roof coefficient and multiply it by the rainfall in meters. Meter means we measure the rainfall in millimeter. So 1000 millimeter is equal to 1 meter. So obviously, accordingly, the meters, sorry, the rainfall in millimeters has to be converted into meters, and you have to multiply by 1000 so that you can get the value into the liters directly. Just for your simplicity, just for your reference, the coefficients are given here. So if your area is covered with the cement slabs tiles, then the coefficient will be between 0.8 to 0.9. Likewise, the coefficients are different, but as you go down and down, that means on the soil, if you see the soil is not given here, but if you see the coefficient of soil, the coefficient of soil is only 0.1. So you can imagine 90% of water on when it falls on a soil, it gets converted into first the soil moisture, and when the infiltration gets completely filled with the filled capacity of the soil, then starts the groundwater movement. So that is why green cover is very much important, why soil needs to be kept in various societies. Unfortunately, the builders have completely paved the pavements all over the society just for the sake of cleanliness. Most of the areas also, they have covered with the same pavements, cement pavements. Unfortunately, because of that, the coefficient has increased, and the runoff coefficient has also increased. Last year, that means in 2019, rainfall, we have seen the havoc which has happened in Pune city. It's only because most of the rainfall, it fall only within short hours, and because of that, the surface runoff was very high. Now the artificial recharge through dug well and through bore well, yes, it is possible, but the bore well should be successful. Please try to remember this. That these are the natural conducive media. So where the discharge of the one more test for bore well, those societies, if they have a bore well, perform that test, and if they are yielding 2000 liters, more than 2000 liters, then only that bore well will accept the water artificially. Similar is the scenario like dug well also. You have to construct a filter bed. If you can see, this filter bed is very much essential. Now, one more thing, that's a location-specific artificial recharge measure, that is the soakways. So here, soakways are also very much important. I think here, I just wanted to show you a one video, but may not be possible because the link I am missing it. So, luckily, Pune Municipal Corporation, they tried these soakways on Talzai Hill, where the cement bricks they have used, they are all pervious bricks. So I think if the societies, they have the bricks, cement blocks, PVC blocks, sorry, paver blocks, wherever they have used, they can replace with these soakways. Now they are available in the market, so that most of the water which is falling on these surfaces can slowly go into the soakways or slowly go through the the filter beds also we can construct, and through those, most of this storm water which is flowing over the surfaces can be taken to the groundwater. Now, mandatory is a filter, very much important. Filter is very much essential, because unless and until uh, the rainfall which is falling over the roof, because roof is nobody's area at present, roof is nobody's area, nobody cleans the roofs, so dust get collected over the roofs, and during first shower, along with the dust, the bacteria, anything can come, because the bacteria, the house of bacteria is your dust. So they get accumulated, or they get absorbed over the dust, and get passed into this recharge system also. So that is why the filter is very much essential. Without filter, there are various filters which are available, and there they reduces not only the velocity of water, but they also stops the particulate matter also. And if you are introducing coal, charcoal, then they definitely absorb also some of the bacteria. Now this is the design of the filter. That is how it looks good. A cell trap, a filter pit also, and two pit filter system is recommended by government also. It's only because if it is a rooftop, then it's okay that you can directly use a filter pit. But if it's the storm runoff, then cell trap is very much essential. That is, two pits are very much important, and then you can connect them from the top, and then with the help of the coarse sand with coal, gravel, pebble filter, you can put the water into the dug well, because the dug well water you are using, even if it is for day-to-day life, that means other than drinking also, it should be of a potable quality. The quality need to be definitely tested, my dear friends. The testing lab of a Pune GSDA, which is located in Shivaji Nagar, is NABL accredited lab, and they are charging minimum for testing the water quality. Please do get tested this water annually, because you are not sure. At least twice in a year, that is pre-monsoon and post-monsoon, you should test the water if you are using the groundwater, because after rainy season, the groundwater may, there are chances or possibilities that they may get contaminated with bacteria. So if that gets, rather if you are using it, then it may harm. So that is why it is very good to test it. Now this is the video which I was showing some of the permeable surfaces. So you can see how that brick which has been prepared with the help of cement is a porous one. So you can see this brick is of a same strength which a paver block has. Yeah, it is at Talja Hill, Pune. So you can use these permeable surfaces. So this we have tested by a mission groundwater also, and luckily after discussion with the Pune Municipal Corporation, they have agreed that everywhere they will use, at least in the areas where the footpaths are there. So those footpaths they can use for the media for artificial recharge also. Now, step by step, I will try to show you how in a building complex you can go for artificial recharge structure. Suppose you have existing bore wells, then it is always advisable to go for the construction of new recharge bore wells, so that the quality and the quantity can very well be saved. And suppose if these are the buildings, and based on the aquifer availability in your society, suppose if the groundwater is moving from this side to this side, then in that case one bore well can one constructed in the upstream and one in the downstream of the society, so that in both bore wells the large quantity of water which is getting available from the rooftops of these buildings can very well be used for artificial recharge. So this is how the plan you can do based on the database which is available, that means with the architect. So this is how a recharge pit is constructed, and the complete water. So this, for this purpose, it is always better to go for mathematical calculation. Simple formula which I have shown you has to be used in calculating this, and based on that, what is important is that you have to go for the location specific measure for artificial recharge. If you have a good aquifers, say for example in Katras area, suppose if you are in suppose maybe in Balewadi, some of the areas where you have a good groundwater potential available. In Aund also there are some areas where the acceptability is very good. So then in that case you can go for these type of structures also. Recharge shaft. This is the most viable solution as far as the Pune city is concerned. These recharge shafts, it is you are drilling a borewell, separate borewell exclusively for artificial recharge based on the availability of the aquifer. Put a filter media, and mesh is very much important. And likewise, you can go for the construction of artificial recharge structures. The artificial recharge structures is just like a bypass. What is happening in the bypass? Just see, this is how one structure, this is just for your understanding, and see how the groundwater moves into the aquifer if you drill a recharge shaft at a proper place. So this is how through a recharge shaft, the groundwater moves into the aquifer, and if the aquifer has a very good capacity, then based on the capacity, we can go for this bypass surgery also. I just wanted to I just wanted to share one more experiment, which based on the aquifer map, we have prepared for a community-led approach in Pune city. Of course, this is with the collaboration with the Pune Municipal Corporation. The map which has been prepared for the Mohammadwadi, this is a Mohammadwadi area, and in Mohammadwadi area, the DP plan has been overlaid with the aquifer map, and now we can definitely advise Pune Municipal Corporation that suppose if the garden is rather the area of a 41 survey number, if it is not reserved for garden, then we can suggest, we can recommend them that yes, it is very much required. Luckily, this is the area which has been reserved for garden. So this area, you can use it for artificial recharge, so that based on the slopes and based on the other parameter, we can able to go for the community led approach even in the urban areas like Pune. So where we are doing, we are carrying out one experiment in front of the Dr. Dada Guzar school in Mohammadwadi. This is what is the plan which has been prepared by. Thanks to the local corporator, he has principally agreed, and he said that whatever you want, I'm going to give that much of money for artificial recharge. He wanted to create an experiment. He wanted to show this is how. Now this was earlier earthen nala bund over which Pune Municipal Corporation has constructed a road, and then subsequently the bridge also. And when this has been dug for renovation for artificial recharge, see how it is eco-friendly. The spring started coming. Even the birds, they started coming also. This is how the fresh water is coming. So you can see it was just a waste. It was earlier a waste, but now after renovation, this picture we took it in the month of February. So you can see the fresh water started coming into it. That's complete a spring water. So this is how we should revive the aquifers and the old structures which are there, which are existing. Below this earthen nala bund, there is a well. From this well, tankers are flying in Hadapsar, means complete Mohammadwadi area and adjoining areas. So there are more than 10 wells below the, rather the downstream of this check dam, downstream of this earthen nala bund. Now there is one more area very near to that, 2.5 kilometers. British regime KTVR is there. Here you can see height of the KTVR. Here Dr. Kulkarni, you can see he is more than 6 feet. So height of the KTVR, and you can see how much garbage has been put all along these drainages. So this is a British regime KTVR. KTVR always collects the base flow which is coming. So this in August 2019, we have tried to measure the base flow also, and we could able to capture the base flow also. Luckily, one whale is located, which in 2019, Kumar Pebble Society, I don't know whether any representative from them have joined it or not. This is the society, and they have used this well water, and this well water is of a potable quality. Be assured. So you can see the where has got a catchment of more than a kilometer. So if we if we just renovate it, no gates were installed. Luckily, some society member they came forward and they have installed these gates in August 2009. But unfortunately, the time was not there, right? It was not inserted right time, so it could not collect the water. So that corporator has agreed that I will renovate this also, so that it can be revived. In this way, the community structures can also be revived. Now, usually the recharge bore wells, what are the details of the recharge bore wells one should go for? It should be separate. That is first important thing that has to be taken care of. And based on the aquifer disposition, maybe 20 to 30-meter depth. The number could vary between 2 to 4 also. And maybe on the upstream side, as I shown you, then storm water should, if at all you are connecting it, then it should be connected through the by using the filter media. Excess water which is coming into this has to be taken out, has to be released. I'll not go into the comparison between the storage and recharge. Those who want will discuss into this. Very important. What are the precautions which are taking? See, all these things you are doing in the absence of the availability of the trained doctors in your societies. So there are many organizations which are willing to work for helping the hydrogeological survey. Maybe you can approach groundwater surveys and development agency locally which is available. So what are the precautions which are to be taken? First precaution, raw storm water should not be used for direct artificial recharge of groundwater. Suppose if you are injecting into the dug well, don't put raw water. It will affect the quality, it will contaminate the groundwater, and once the groundwater gets contaminated, it is very difficult to flush it out. It's not like surface water dam that you can pass on the garbage in the downstream. It's not possible. Suitably designed area specific filters need to be used to filter the particulate matter. Prevent the particulate lead, my dear friends. One very important hint that I just wanted to give you. Everywhere we can see that all along the roads there is a oil seepage, there is a petrol seepage, and all these they are contributing into the groundwater. The lead is coming, chromium is coming, all other toxic pollutants are coming into the Pune groundwater. So we have to be very careful. So why I requested you to go for testing of the water, then technical capacity building of the citizen group NGOs, for which today we are assembled here. Now, what are the legal provision and incentivization? One legal provision, first, that is on 10th of March 2005, Government of Maharashtra has given the directives to amend the Maharashtra Regional Town Planning Act 1966, wherein they have made mandatory for the societies having areas more than 300 square meters. What they gave, incentivize 5% tax rebate on construction of rainwater harvesting structure. Please take out your bill. Now it is due also. This year, tax we have to pay before 31st of May. So by which you are going to get 5% additional benefit also. And that additional benefit is also coming for each individual flat owner. Please remember, this is for each individual flat owner. Then Groundwater, Maharashtra Groundwater Act 2009, which came into force on 1st of June 2014, which says under section 9(7), in urban areas, that area they have reduced from 300 square meters, they have reduced to 100 square meters. So that is how It is mandatory, but mandatory has to be through the bylaws, because after 74th amendment, all the urban local bodies have been empowered to take their own decisions. This is my last slide, my dear friends, and is very important nowadays. See what the guy is saying: if my parents would have saved the water, today I would have gone to school. The dropout rate in cities also is increasing day by day. So what is important is everyone is recharging their own mobile. Is it not, my dear friend? But ignoring the recharging of life. It's not more than the cost of the recharge which everybody is doing for their own mobile. But life is your water. So whatever water you are abstracting, at least that much of quantity of rainfall, you can able to recharge. Thank you very much.
हम आज का ये कार्यक्रम यहीं पर समाप्त करते हैं। मैं केसी गर्ग आप सबका इस प्रोग्राम में शामिल होने के लिए बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद करता हूँ। मुझे आशा है कि आज के प्रोग्राम में जो आपकी अपेक्षाएं थी, जो उम्मीदें थी, वो पूरी हुई हैं और हमारे सभी एक्सपर्ट ने जो भी आपके सवाल थे उन सब सवालों के जवाब दिए हैं। अभी मेरी आपसे अपील है कि आप सभी लोग जो अभी भी फेडरेशन के मेंबर नहीं बने हैं, वो सोसाइटी फेडरेशन के मेंबर जल्दी जल्दी बन जाइए, ताकि आने वाले समय के अंदर जो भी हम इस प्रकार के वेबिनार करने वाले हैं, आप उन सब का भरपूर फ़ायदा उठा सकें। धन्यवाद।